Okay, so what I did for my final project was that I did my research paper on data collection and how we are essentially our own product at the end of the day. Um, throughout my project, I go over a few topics. I went over bulk of my project is how data collection overall is problematic, how it has many legal and ethical issues. I broke that up into two main categories. Um, one of which was how companies directly use our information for their advantage. So, the two examples I gave were how was Facebook, essentially the whole Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal that's still ongoing right now. How even though Facebook technically didn't know about it, they most likely did consent to it indirectly, and they have been subject to privacy violations of their own over the past five years, even in a decade. Even they've just been known for that. I've also gone over how Google took a exploit within Apple's Safari code within their iPhones, and used that to collect data on iPhone users. And as a result, they were sued for I think, like $20 million or so by in a action lawsuit in the UK. And again, similarly to Facebook, Google has been known for privacy violations as well. So that's one subsection. The other one is how companies don't necessarily directly use that information to sell to advertisers per se, but they don't necessarily care about it either. They just collect it and then don't care what happens there afterwards. The one example that I used, which is probably the best one of all the examples that I could find, was Equifax. They clearly did not care what happened to customers, or even if they did, they really didn't try very hard at helping customers out, even after the breach occurred. Um, it's a sad thing, but I mean that's the world we live in. Um, Another, I guess this is technically a third one, but it sort of intertwines with companies directly using it, sort of, was how companies have the potential using our information. An example I gave was how iRobot's Roomba, um, it when it moves around the house, it makes a map so that it doesn't bump into walls and furniture and stuff. Um, it could potentially use that data to sell to advertiser to say, oh, that person doesn't have a couch. We can try and promote we can give them advertisements for couches on sale locally, or this one doesn't have a I don't know, a lampshade or something. It's something like that where it can be used. Um, another this second section, which is significantly smaller than the entire research paper, was how we are we are part of the problem for data collection. How most of us put ourselves out there on the internet. So I broke this up into two categories. One was how we knowingly give our information away. So the best example is obviously social media. Some of us put our lives on social media. An example would be, documenting life events on Facebook, saying, "Oh, I graduated," or "I went to the beach today," or "I went to this sporting event," or something like that. We put our names or our ages, and some of us even our addresses, but I don't know why they would do that. But some of us do. That's a prime example of us absolutely putting our lives on the internet. And another one is a lot more subtle, how we unknowingly give our information away. So, right, the best example is the smartphone. Right, we use our smartphones for a lot of things nowadays. We use it to play games, browse the web, check emails, call and text people, and download apps and play with apps. The problem is with a lot of these apps, they'll want to gain access to certain kinds of content on your phone. So someone want access to your camera or video. They'll want access to your gallery or your contacts, or did you activate your microphone? And then you don't know what they're doing with that, really. I mean, no one even pays attention. Even if it's in, say, the terms and conditions of an app or some product, no one's going to read it, because, let's face it, no one reads it except lawyers. Another example I gave was how just browsing the internet on a daily basis, whether we use it to just literally Google stuff or to make a purchase on, say, Amazon or Walmart, we effectively give that information away. We say, I like this idea, I like this product. Feel free to show me other products similar to this one. It sort of indirectly gives away our interests, our personality, and ultimately our identity in some cases. The main thing I found out of this entire research paper, the main point I was trying to get across, is that no matter what you do online, no matter where you go, you're going to be tracked, essentially. There's no hiding it. You can't get away from it. It's just going to be a part of life, and it's a little scary. It definitely is starting to become scary, especially with companies like Facebook and Amazon receiving little to no repercussions as a result of their actions because of these lawsuits, these scandals. It's not a good sign. Another thing that I'm trying to say is that, let's see. There really isn't a whole lot more to say, I guess. It's again, like I just said, it's becoming a part of everyday life. We can't avoid it. And that's about it. I had a lot of fun in this class. It was definitely an interesting class. In fact, I think the most interesting thing about this report, now that I mention it, is it was definitely all the scandals that went on. I mean, just the Equifax one alone probably interested me the most. Just everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong during that entire scandal, and nothing happened as a result. No repercussions whatsoever. A few people did step down, but they can just go anywhere they want. And so, that's it. See ya.